Morning folks, so winter build conditions are here. There's no more building in a t-shirt anymore. It doesn't actually even feel like it's got light yet, but there's an upside. The building in summer conditions, the type of dirt that you have, it's looser. It's not a patch on the winter dirt you get, so that's a massive plus side. And anyway, sometimes it's just about wearing the right kind of clothes in it. So I've just been checking things over, and I saw this like bit of rotten wood in the landing. I'm like, man, that's not meant to be there. You dig away it a bit, and it turns out that it's an old tree stump, and it had quite a bit of roots on it. I've had to smash some of them off. But sometimes in this job, it's like it's not just about the tree stumps that you can see out of the ground. It's some that kind of appear as you keep going. Anyway, that is not meant to be there, and I'm glad it's out. Right, unfortunately, when you're dealing with GoPros, I've got no way of properly showing you the slope of the land. You're just going to have to come here and see it for yourself. But the point that I'm at now is, let me just turn you around over here. So, I've got marked out down to where my barrow is, sort of, and then the rest of the work needs to begin from just after the barrow. But I've got marked out from the lip takeoff, a very rough slope, right? And the thing is, from experience, I've found that it's much easier to get to a point like that and stop removing material than to try and put material on it later on if you cock it up, sort of thing. So what I've now got here is, you can see like a raked out square, trying not to get rain on the lens. I've got like a raked out square. This is going to be a maximum margins for a dig hole, so that I can start moving some more material on. It's not about shaping any of this yet, it's just about getting the material amount of dirt on there that I need. So what I like to do is mark out an area that's a maximum size for my dig hole, so I know I'm not going to go any bigger than that. Plus it also gets rid of all these needly stuff. You don't want to put any of the, I know it's got someone that's fallen on, but you don't want to put extra on there. You get more into the loam and the dirt. Then a natural spot to start is this old tree stump here. I'll dig that out, and I can start to fill some wheelbarrows of dirt and move some over. And once I'm happy that I've got all the material on there that I need, then I can start to shape it out. 9 times out of 10, or past year's experience has been, most of the time you get what you think is the amount of dirt on there and start shaping, and you've got to go back and be like, right, well, actually we need some more on. So that I do have an alternative site too for a dig hole, just over where all these old branches are. I can put another dig hole in there. So let's do one, which there's no way I'm going to get done today in this pissy weather, but let's start one and see how it looks. I have had to have a couple of dodge the rain shower sessions, but I just kind of hid under there and had a butty, so it worked out. So I've got a fresh coat on the landing now. There's no real shape on it, and it's still all about putting materials in. The good news is there's absolutely bags to go at on my dig hole, so that's good. There's plenty to be going at. I'll get you across a little bit. So still on what I would call the belly of the landing, kind of midpoint down. Still needs a load more earth on it. Morning folks, welcome to Friday morning. So last night I put up a couple of photographs, or late afternoon put up a couple of photographs of the build that I'm doing on Electric Landlady at the moment, which in the vast majority of cases got great response. Everyone was like, get on, this is going to be a great jump, I'm looking forward to it. But then one or two, what's the best phrase to put it, created some confusion. That's probably the best way of looking at it. So what we're going to do is, for people that haven't been here before and that are just kind of speculating on the internet, can't help you. But for the people that have ridden here before and are like wondering more about what's next and what's coming next, then let's do a bit of compare and contrast for you. So in order to avoid a case, you are looking at hitting the 12-foot mark. That's a minimum. That doesn't mean that if you get your back wheel to there that you have completed the jump. It's you have narrowly avoided hitting your back wheel and getting bucked over the bars and going home in either a helicopter or an ambulance. That's a 12 foot's a bare minimum. However, the point being, where most of you are landing is kind of down here somewhere. You can see there's an indentation just in here. So if we call, let's just call this stone and measure to where you're hitting on there. So coming from the lip, the vast majority of you are hitting around 19 feet. Now that's a small kicker. If we get you kind of sideways on, it's a real small kicker. You've got transition height is 2 skinny logs, and that is your lip and your kick at the end. So honestly, by using like 2 skinny logs, what it'd be like 8-9 inch or something that they make up together, not much. So 9-inch tranny, most of you are leaping to around the 19 foot mark. If you think where Adam, shout out to Adam, you'll be watching this video, but Adam lands way down in here. He gets down into here, and I've also, there's footage on videos as well where I've seen him clear to this knuckle, and that is booting off a real small tranny. However, we're not all Adam, and to be fair, I am also Joe average, so this is roughly down in here where I land as well. So from a very small kick, you're getting over to 19 feet, but that is the fact. It's not a fly off, it's a kick. It lifts your bike up and over, so you do get a bit of extra height advantage, which allows you a bit of time in the air. So, you know, it's doable, but a lot of you are doing it. There's kind of, some people are building up to it. Awesome, that's what the rest of the park's for, that's the whole point of it. And some of you are already way up and over and down. Mint. For those people that are confident and up and over and down, it's time to take it on to the next level. So in order to offer a bit of an extra challenge and be able to move everybody up, so for the guys that have, and girls on hardtails as well, that have cleared the gap jump, I need to offer something else. You know, it's time to step things up, and that's the whole nature of this park. You know, by the way, we've still got a whole lot of the park left to keep stepping things up. So what do we do in a way of offering new challenges? Do I just build that jump again, but make the landing a little bit further away? No. Well, I mean, I could have done, I suppose, but hey, it's not my style. If we're going to offer new challenges, that one was on a hip. It's got sort of a knuckle run into it. There's a few things that you've got to deal with and a few things that you've got to get right in your head and technique wise to be able to clear it. So I'm taking it that if you're clearing that, then you've got those techniques down together. It's time to offer some new challenges. This one will get you up off the floor a bit, and that adds a whole extra head game. It's not, to be real, what's the difference whether you're riding up on something or whether you're riding down on something, you know, but it's a head game, innit? This one hasn't got a kick either, so I've tried it from not very far back, but I've seen Adam do it from literally from like this tree here and just roll in and use the kick to kind of hop up and get over. So it is, yeah, what's the better way to put that? It is available as like a crutch to I know you've still got to have technique to get over. Anyway, the kick is helpful. So we'll take the kick out of it and just make it a fly off. So if we're going to do that and we're adding all this extra thing into the takeoff, then let's not go fucking crazy, you know, with the distance. We've gone to the bare minimum on this one. I bet this isn't going to show up. Try and get you over. The bare minimum is 13 feet from the lip and the takeoff. Again, that's not jump 13 feet and you'll be fine. If you land back wheel on there, that's still a case. It's not great. 14 is kind of perfect. But then you've got, I'll have to lift you up over this. But then you've got a run down and a transition landing. I don't know if that helps either. But this is the point. of confusion, or was the point of confusion last night, and getting DMs off people with private accounts and stuff. I've got a private account, but I can tell you that it looks shitty and you can't contact me. Whatever, dipshit. If you know, you're not even going to freaking ride here, so frustration about that apart, because I shouldn't let that stuff get to me. The point being, this is all down a slope. Now I can't show you this on GoPro. It's unfortunate. It's just the way that the lenses work. I can't show you that this is a slope down. And what I can do though is put my money where my mouth is, and I'm happy. I'm happy. So when I've got all this landing finished and I'm raking all this stuff is getting moved upwards and smoothed out, so this is all still available landing area, and I'm happy to send it down past what you can see the kind of groomed and raked dirt. If I can get the balls to do it and get comfy on this jump, then I don't mind landing down in here. And I'm 42, I'm an old man, but it's fine. This is still a down slope. I know it doesn't show it on GoPro. What can I do for you? All I can do is show you videos of me jumping this when it's done. So if you get into the kind of area where the yellow tape is now, you're looking at around 23 feet. So yeah, 23. Awesome. If you get through there, then 23 is a fairly good hook. You're doing on average around 19 over there. We've stepped it up slightly. If you want to send it a bit further, let's find out what we're getting past here. I mean, down in the bottom here we're looking at, that's 9 metres, that doesn't mean shit. Down in the bottom here we're looking at 30 feet. So again, put it into context. Again, this just doesn't show on GoPro, so it doesn't do me any favours, but fuck it, this is how it works. So if you clear the tranny of it and get down into the bottom slope, then you're looking at 30 feet. There's no kicker on there. People haven't seen, I haven't built the run in yet. Are people really going to be sprinting through it in order to try and hook themselves right down to here? The answer to that is yes, because Adam Waterman almost definitely will. So let's chuck a prediction out there as to where Adam might land. And if you're watching this mate, I'm not advising that you do it straight away. Let's have a couple of runs in before you start hooking it this far up, huh? So what? Let's just say if someone, I mean, how crazy he is on, he goes pretty fast. If he hooks himself down into here, that is 51 feet. I don't know, I hope that shows up on GoPro. From back up there. And the way that this will be sloped in, it will still be usable landing. You're probably gonna hit through some suspension on that, to be honest, mate. But it's still doable, especially when it's done and finished and everything's brought up. These finger roots are taken out and the whole thing's kind of graded and sloped down into this part. Probably still usable landing, but it's 51 feet. The jump's not designed to be hit 51 feet, and I know that Adam doesn't really it's not about what it's designed for him, but it's designed to be the next step up from the gap jump. If you're desperate to hit 50 footers consistently, then it's possible here. And the stuff that I've got coming, we're going to get to a point where you're not looking at, I'm not going to go up next time for the next one, to the next big build, to be like, okay, it's 1 foot more, this one's 13 foot, and go to a 14 foot one over there. I'm not going to do that. If you get used to jumping on a hip with a kicker, and you get used to doing a fly out sender, then I'm going to take it that you've got both of those covered before you move on to the next track. And the next track, yeah, let's be honest, we need to start looking into 20s, possibly 25s as the minimum hook. When you look at it from this angle, off the top of the jump down to where that is, to be fair, hooking your meat that far off this jump, that's a long flaming way, a long way. I'm going to make sure that there's raked up and brought up landing to allow you to do it, but the fact that the amount of altitude that you're going to lose, and you're going to just vertical drop down from here to down there, is a long way. I mean, there probably is a way of doing it, but I'd probably need a step ladder. I'm trying to think how I could calculate the fall by just pulling this yellow line tight and flat across to one of the trees and then measuring how far down it is to the ground. I'm going to need a step ladder to get up one of these trees down here or something. But it's a long way. It's a long way. You're still landing on a down slope, but you're coming from a great height. I'd say the best method was just to pop it down around the 30 mark and let some of that bottom transition roll you in. But as usual, videos will do me no favours on here. We'll have armchair critiques, which is fine. I appreciate that. That's what happens in all sports, especially in mountain biking. And what can I say? I'll show you when I guinea pig it, and you can watch an old man doing it and make your decisions from there. Anyway, it's Friday, which means it's track check day. So it's Friday morning, to be more precise. Sun's just coming up. I'm going to grab a little bit of time to chuck some more dirt on this, and then I'm going to have to devote the rest of the day to getting over the tracks. Right, well, I've had time to get a few loads up onto the top area. You can see there's like a bit more reddy browny sand, and I've just dumped a few loads into the middle, but dumped loads. Sorry, dumped some into the middle, and I'm just going to rake that out now before we get on with the rest of the day. So ideally, I'd like that to freeze again tonight, and then the frosty weather is really helpful, but it's just a bit of an extra patch. You've got to leave everything proud, because then when you come to pat it in, and then hopefully, if I can get my hands on it, put the carpet over the top, when you come to pat it in, it goes, obviously it compresses down, and plus, to be honest, there's another shit ton of dirt that needs to go, excuse me, over the top of it and into all this, but there's bags of work left yet, but kind of shaping as it goes. Anyway, on to the rest of the day, but first, to give some context to this jump, let's go over the last jump on this track. The third and final hit on this track, Electric Landlady, which I haven't even begun working on yet. I've literally brought over some timber. He's going to send you off a ladder drop, and I've got the tape out down there. Something's way down. That's probably way further than you'd want to send. And this one, well, I don't know if you'd even be able to use your imagination on, because I can see how this one's going to work once it's built, but trying to describe that to you is not that easy. But there is going to be moving this knuckle back a shade, and there is going to be a slight gap and an air out over the gap. These two trees are getting rid of. Slight air out over the gap, and then all of this is going to be gradiented down. Thanks to the big BTR tough rake, I'll just knock the crap out of it all down here, or move some of it upwards as well. But anyway, this is probably way further. You're going to be shooting for that mouth down there that's still got some tape on it from an old track from PMBA days, I think. You're going to be shooting for that mouth, so you don't want to send it too far down. But right down here is like, like 45, 46 feet. Not that I particularly advise sending it that far. But anyway, third hit, when it's finished, is a fairly meaty hit on this track. They're all pretty meaty hits. The qualifier up the top isn't going to be easy to do. It's not designed to be easy to do, that's why it's a qualifier. Anyway, sort out some tracks. Ando's on his way up for a strategy meeting. That's code for coffee time, so we better go and open the gate for him. Right, he's over on the phone at the moment, but I'm going to knock this vlog on the head from here now. It's the end of the day on Friday. It's nearly time for it to get dark. So this weekend open 9:30 till 5 o'clock. Kind of gets a bit dusky around 4:30. That's Saturday and Sunday. If you're coming up, then pop in the cabin and see us, and I'll have the crack with you then. That's it for now. Hope you have a great weekend.